Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Shane. For those who are new, welcome back if you're returning. So I have a few videos to react to today. If you remember, on March 11th, when Mica was getting her tires fixed, it was alleged that JP had done this because the PI had taken either photos or videos of Mica with another man. Mind you, Mica and JP were separated, but they had not officially been divorced at this point. But remember, JP Miller in the meantime was asking a waitress for swimsuit photos. We didn't know the identity of the man that Mica was seen with, but we believe it might have been an old member of the church named DJ. I just want to take a look at this voicemail first with you guys because I can't get myself to believe that this
An old member of the church? I thought he was young. Or does she mean like he was been a member of the church for a long time? I think that's what she meant. All right, let's keep going.
investigation is over. I think it's important that we continue to look into these clips and these interviews. I have to take care of it, but like you'll see a little pop-up over here occasionally. Please ignore it. But this is the conversation between the man Mica was alleged being seen out and about with and JP Miller.
Hey, sorry, Mom and Brian called me out of the room because before I called you, I went in there and cleared her.
Yeah, where did you touch her?
I mean, just like nowhere below reproach. I mean,
Below her what?
that's a promise.
Searching, thank you. This is such like a weird, cringy conversation. Like this sounds like something to be like a category on the bum, bum, bum. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Well, the person that saw
kind of strange, if you ask me.
and got the picture said that you touched her chest.
I didn't. I mean, like we kissed, so maybe like her face, neck, but I promise you that.
Why would you even want to know? Steph Case Files in the house. Good to see you. Pin that comment, y'all. Make sure you go show her some love. Give her some attentions. Go watch all them videos. Let's keep going.
Nothing below the neck, chest.
And she touched you where?
Just the same place, like my face.
It's so strange that JP is like, give me more details. To me, it's weird. He's almost like, tell me more, you know, tell me more. What did you guys do? Where did you touch?
Tell me more. Like, does he have a car?
Like, I don't think I would probe for those kind of details, especially if obviously not being in the relationship anymore is still bothering me. I don't think I would want to know everything.
Hell no. What kind of details are you looking for? And what are you going to do with said details?
Personally, I just think it's a little bit weird that he's asking for those details to be elaborated on.
Like my chest.
My guy said there was more than that.
My guy said there was more than that?
More than what you're telling me.
Well, I'm telling you, if you have the videos and the pictures, you can fact check it.
I mean, he'll have them to me by morning time. But he told me there was more than that.
Well, that is exactly what happened.
JP just said that his PI will have the photos and stuff to him by the morning time. So JP, according to what he just said, hasn't even confirmed anything through actual tangible proof. So his PI must have just called him and said either knows this guy personally, so can call him out by name, or describe him well enough that JP knows who he's talking about. So I guess JP's calling him without even seeing photos or videos. I don't know if JP's telling the truth and hasn't actually seen anything yet, maybe just received a phone call from his hired PI. But if I was put in this situation, I would have done the opposite. I would have waited until I got the photos, videos.
I wouldn't have done any of it because it's crazy as hell. What do you want to hear? Well, I heard you talking. Oh, we broke the bed. Threw it back out too. Yep. It's game over. Ain't never gonna be the same. Like, bruh, that's weird.
How dare you?
Show her some love. But for real though, why on earth would anybody want to know that information? Although, keep in mind, didn't we hear that apparently he liked to have people do things to people and other people do things to him and like things and everything was all octopus style? You know what I'm talking about? Tentacles everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Didn't we hear that? I mean, I guess it's alleged, right? We don't know. We're not these people. We don't know anything, but that's what I heard. So maybe he's like, you know what I mean? Saves that in the hard drive. No pun intended. All right, let's keep going.
Videos, all the evidence that I needed, and then call the person, and even possibly not even disclose that I had that information yet or knew the truth, to see if their story matched what I already knew or not. However, JP telling him that he hasn't seen the photos or videos yet may also be a way to sort of persuade him into telling him the truth, because now if he lies and believes that JP will be able to fact check that in the morning based on photos or surveillance footage, he might be more inclined to tell the truth. But even then,
if somebody called me and was like, oh, that was my wife, that was my girlfriend, what did you do to her? You best believe you're about to get about 1,700 links from all kinds of sites being like, yo, this scene, I'm about to send y'all like an Amazon wish list of just the shit she wanted. It's going to be insane. You're going to break your phone in half and not want to be around people for 6 to 8 months. You know what I mean? Like, why? It's so weird.
we're not hearing that much else happened.
There was nothing more. I promise you that. And then you'll see that.
He said that both of y'all touched each other inappropriately.
No. Other than normal kissing, but.
And how long was the kissing?
That can get inappropriate in a hurry. You know what I'm saying? Things tend to escalate quickly.
Why does that matter? Again, that's kind of going back to my point of just like wanting to know these details that I don't know if I would want to know.
I don't know.
Oh, I've completely forgot to mention, by the way, I'm going to be taking these, I got to take these little prongs off, by the way. My daughter plays violin, so I use her music stand as like a little laptop thing, but it works.
I honestly don't.
You can guess.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Shane, what are you drinking? Is that like a hot chocolate? Because that looks delicious. Like a little latte action.
Oh, he's like, wait. Oh, he grosses. He's like waiting. He won't move past this. JP is waiting for him to answer.
Man, I feel like if somebody called me saying something like this, they'd be like wanting all these details. I'm like on the other side going like, the hell is that sound? And all you hear is like, you know? And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, get a life. Crazy. Hey, to each their own, right? You either believe in freedom or you don't.
How long? How long? How long? That's all this dead space is JP waiting for him to tell him how long he was kissing his soon-to-be ex.
I honestly couldn't give you a time frame on it.
30 minutes?
No, not anything like that.
I was gonna
And
say.
you know this is adultery, right? This is straight up adultery.
Oh my God.
JP, do you forget how you and Mica began in the first place? What's that saying? Any relationship built on another woman's tears will crumble or something like that?
Whoa.
I don't know how much truth there is to that, but...
What if they're tears of joy, Shane?
I do, and I'm repenting to you.
Because we're not legally separated.
Did he just say...
Even if we were legally separated, it's still adultery.
And I am incredibly...
I'm going to backtrack a couple of seconds, but did I just catch him saying, I'm repenting to you? This guy is profusely apologizing to JP. Like, I think he is genuinely, maybe not scared of him, but...
I bet he's just trying to not lose his job. You know what I mean? That's probably what he probably was thinking. Oh, I'm about to confess my sins, and I'm about to retain my position up in the rocks of solid. And apparently he didn't realize what was happening.
Definitely intimidated. He's a member of the church.
And Whit, you're so sweet. Thank you.
JP is essentially his boss. He just did naughty things with the boss's wife. I mean, this guy's sweating.
That's what I'm saying.
The details JP wants, though, is throwing me off a bit. And then when I caught the word repenting, when I think of repenting, I think again more of I think of like the Catholic faith, right, where you go and confess your sins to the pastor. I can't speak on something I don't know very much about, but I just thought I touched on Mica.
That is what you do. You repent. You go in the confessionals and you repent. Funny story about never mind. I'm not going to tell that story.
Allegedly, possibly being groomed at Solid Rock. And I feel like a lot of that goes for not just the young girls, but also the young boys too. And not even necessarily a romantic way like it turned out from Mica. But even with this member here, I don't know how long he's been part of the church. He's clearly trying to say sorry and possibly save his job or receive some sort of forgiveness that's obviously valuable to him. Otherwise, he would have been like, listen, you big lug, just a month ago, you were texting a waitress. Yeah, I think this conversation would have been much different if this member wasn't trying to stay in JP's good graces.
We're not legally separated. Even if we were legally separated, it's still adultery.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Nurse KK. So basically, I went to private schools from like 3rd grade till like 8th grade. And me and one of my girlfriends spent some time in a confessional.
How dare you?
I'm burning hell for that one for sure.
Yeah, but need.
So stupid. I'm like, confess your sins. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I am incredibly,
That's allegedly, y'all.
incredibly sorry, and I honestly do not expect
Why do you think she called you? Like, do you not see you talk about this discernment? You literally have zero discernment. But do you not?
Discernment, by the way, for those of you who might not be aware, I could look up the technical term, but it's basically, I believe it's like a God-given ability to be able to distinguish the difference between like good and evil spirits. So JP is alluding to this guy has no discernment. You can't pick up on what good and evil is. It's just a little of like spiritual pettiness, I suppose.
Did a married woman called you and asked to meet you at the beach?
I do.
I'm going to the beach.
Was incredibly.
I thought you had discernment. You said you had discernment better than a 70-year-old man.
Life's a beach. Sometimes you gotta go. If a man is in that situation where his wife is going to the beach with another guy, as the guy, I'm gonna be thinking about, well, what the hell am I doing and or not doing that is causing my wife to want to be at the beach with another man? Maybe start with some, put on some Michael Jackson and hit yourself with that, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Like get a little bit of that, I'm asking him to change his ways. I don't know. Let's keep going.
I was saying better than some 7-year-old man. And, I'm not on the phone to argue with you. I'm repenting to you. I honestly don't know what else to tell you other than to ask for your forgiveness, and honestly don't even expect that from you.
Man.
No, I forgive you.
This poor kid, man, you should have been like, oh, hell no.
I forgive you.
I am sick to my stomach just from all of it, the whole thing.
Mike did the same exact.
Sick to his stomach? Oh, no, he's like a good Christian boy. Oh, man, I've been like, dude, man, she was speaking in tongues. What? I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm talking hypothetically. I'm not talking about this situation. I'm just saying, like, if somebody called me saying that, like that, I'm going to be like, dude, you outside of your mind. Think I'm going to... I mean, come on.
Thing to me 10 years ago. Exact same thing. We met at the same place.
Really?
Thank you, Simply Criminal. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was just incredibly stupid.
Hold on.
And I take all the responsibility.
What we miss?
Is she
Kaylee, that's what she said.
saying she wants to date you or marry you or anything like that?
Okay, hold on. Whoa.
Married? They had one makeout session on the beach and she's trying to get married again. Oh, y'all, sorry if it looks like I'm giving you the stink eye with this eye. You know how like sometimes I just get like these crazy ass things up in my eyeball or whatever? This eye's hurting like crazy, but sorry. You know, I need a little compress on that thing.
Wait, whoa.
Because I was playing golf and I hit the sand and it blew straight up into my damn face and I had to wash sand out of my eyeball.
Wait, whoa.
Sucks.
Whoa. I was giving him a second to see if he would bring up the fact that it takes two to tango. Yeah, she did the exact same thing to me 10 years ago, talking about being unfaithful, but failed to mention that he did the exact same thing to his wife and kids. I was giving him a second to see if he would like throw that in there, but nope. He just threw Mica under the ark and he was driving it. I cannot believe he just said that. We're getting into something else he just said. I'm going to go back a second. Let's try here.
Was to date you or marry you or anything like that?
Okay, that's weird. That's the part that I was talking about. Now he's asking this guy, does Mica want to date you or marry you? Like it went from
Yeah, that's crazy as hell.
0 to 100. To me, that gives a little bit of insight into how JP thinks of Mica. The way that I'm thinking JP is looking at this, right, is that Mica had already had an affair from her first husband, Jeremy, with JP, who was with Allison at the time. Now JP seeing Mica out with somebody else, he's basically saying, oh, look, that's typical. She's already done it. I think he looks at it like she just jumps from one person to the next very quickly, but again, takes no accountability into his own actions. He's not even bringing up the text message conversation, and he never will.
No, I mean, it's just really basic conversation. And honestly, she didn't even really mention you or anything. It was all just like normal conversation. She talked about like the Valorous Church, how she was going there and liked it. So
And you kissed her or she kissed you?
it was really like a mutual thing.
Y'all were
Again,
holding hands.
Damn, he didn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't answer that earlier when I said how y'all were touching. You never said y'all were holding hands.
You're right, but yeah, you asked. Yeah, you're right.
Y'all held hands for a long time.
I wouldn't, definitely not the whole time, but
Hold hands.
I mean, an extensive period, definitely longer than we kissed.
okay, if you want to check out this whole interview, again, I'll leave it linked down below. It is so bizarre. First, he asks how long they kissed, and then he finds out that they were holding hands, and then asks how long they were holding hands. Like, very, very strange. Next, we're going to take a look at the video from Fitz and News. This was when they were talking about Mica's family reaching a global settlement.
Today, John Paul Miller, Solid Rock Church, Inc., and the estate of Mica Francis Miller, along with individual members of the Francis family, have reached a full and final settlement on all presently filed litigation. The parties have also signed a full mutual release on all potential future litigation. The terms of the settlement agreement are sealed under a confidentiality agreement.
Whoa.
The agreement and release include, but are not limited to, the dismissal with prejudice of the matters currently pending in both family court and probate court of Horry County. You just witnessed in court the withdrawal of the petition in probate court. Mica's family, Pastor Miller, and the church have set their differences aside to allow Mica's memory to live on without the encumbrance of contentious litigation. All parties now consider this matter closed. Those that have sought justice for Mica should feel accomplished in helping the Francis family in reaching this milestone. South Carolina criminal investigators have concluded their work of following up on the investigation done by Robeson County Sheriff's Office in this case, with nothing new to report. Unfortunately, we don't know every piece of information that led to the death of Mica. We do know that her life did serve a purpose. Her life mattered. Those that have spent every Sunday morning protesting outside of Solid Rock Church, chanting justice for Mica, should recognize this time of healing and move on with their lives. We only ask that you remember Mica as the wonderful, beautiful person that she was. And now Regina may have something to say.
Before Regina talks, how can we conclude an investigation if he just said himself that we don't know all the details leading up to her suicide?
It is true that we reached a global settlement on all issues that could have been brought to court. Some additional things that are some things that are pending now, as well as things that could have been filed. Those have been resolved as well. As far as justice for Mica, that we are ready to go to the next chapter. And the next chapter is to go and convince our General Assembly to take a look at the coercive control law bill. We need that on the agenda ASAP. We need it taken seriously. We need it to be made into law in the very next session of the General Assembly. Standing by and doing nothing is unacceptable. It is absolutely embarrassing. I urge everyone, if you want the final piece of justice for Mica, which means justice for all who have been domestically abused, please put your efforts into getting in touch with your legislators. Get in touch with the people who have the power to do something here. And do it now. These other things that you're doing, that time has passed. It is time to move to the next chapter. We want to focus on the memory and the beauty of Mica and everything that she has represented for herself and every single person that has ever been in her situation.
What changed? Because didn't we just see the interview with her and Mica's sister, where this lady was like, I am so glad that she videotaped this tiny bit of this incident because it shows an awful lot of and that was only what, like a few days ago. What changed now to where she's like, it is completely over, everything has been dismissed. Now if you really want to show her justice, you need to forget about this and move on to this other. Doesn't it seem like a weird 180? Maybe not. Maybe it's completely normal. But to me, it just seems like one of those things where you're like, wait, what? Huh? Huh? Why are you doing that? Why are you saying it like that? I don't know. Let's keep going.
And we, her family, when I say we, I'm talking about the Francis family. They need your help. They need your help on this. We don't want to talk about Mr. Miller anymore. We want to move forward to the next chapter, and that is getting this law passed. So I urge you, please, contact my office if you want to volunteer. We are putting together benefits to raise money for this cause. We are also looking at a potential rally on the Capitol if the General Assembly doesn't get it together.
Okay, so she got really emotional there for a moment. Her voice was cracking. I'm really just hoping that this is not the end of it because there are just so many questions left unanswered. Literally an hour ago, the Robbie Harvey posted a new update about this case. I'm just curious what he has to say. Now, I have read comments here on my channel. I don't know how reliable anybody is on the internet, so I take everything with a grain of salt. Every TikTok I watch, every YouTube video, every interview, I'm gonna put my own opinion on it. However, in his videos, he's claimed that he's been able to have contact people who are directly involved with this case, and so he might know a few things that we don't. So I do like taking a couple looks at his videos.
Just days ago, John Paul Miller and the family of his now deceased wife agreed upon a settlement between the two sides on current and all future lawsuits. This is on the civil side, but still, this was indeed a shocking turn of events, especially when John Paul Miller's attorney made this announcement after the agreed-upon settlement.
South Carolina criminal investigators have concluded their work. following up on the investigation done by Robeson County Sheriff's Office in this case with nothing new to report.
At first listen, it also sounds that all criminal investigations have concluded. But he was intentional with his wording. Listen again.
South Carolina criminal investigators have concluded their work following up on the investigation done by Robeson County Sheriff's Office in this case with nothing new to report.
Later in the press conference, he was challenged on that statement. Take a listen.
Attorney Long, you referenced the state reviewing some of the Robeson County investigations. I also noticed that your statement conspicuously did not mention any potential federal investigation into Pastor Miller. Can you comment on the status of that federal investigation? Can you tell us which state agency reviewed the Robeson County investigation?
I don't believe I indicated state or federal. I said South Carolina investigators. You can.
So you were referring to when you were...
I'm referring to whoever has investigated this case, federal and state. Yes, sir.
So all, from your perspective, all criminal inquiries into John Paul Miller are concluded?
We believe so. We have every reason to believe so. We've asked for definitive answers on that, and the answers and or lack of answers that we've received can only lead to that answer, that they have in fact concluded their investigation.
Somehow, Russell B. Long has come to the conclusion that there is no investigation, well, because the FBI won't answer his questions. But
the one thing about the federal government, especially when it comes to criminal charges, y'all, their conviction rate is sky high. And the reason that is because they take their time. They build cases that are so strong and take, months, years, decades, y'all, because when they take it to court, it's over. You know what I mean? The percentages are like high 90s of conviction rates. It's insane, y'all. So the fact that it's been, 2 months? Maybe nothing happened. And as of right now, y'all already know nothing, no charges, nothing filed. He even just said it. They concluded everything and they have no reason to believe. So we have no reason to believe anything at all. I'm just speaking in generalities, y'all. The federal government likes to take their time.
now take a listen to this. In an interview conducted the same day, Regina Ward, the attorney for Mica Miller and her family, says this in regards to a possible federal investigation.
Let me ask you this question. What do you think happened that day?
Well, of course, anything that I would think is speculation, and that is the million-dollar question. I personally believe that answer to that, or some form of answer to that, will be on that cell phone or that Apple Watch that is in the possession of the legal authorities. And so we have a court order requiring those things to be released to my office, and they won't release it until they have finished their, quote, investigation.
But not only that, I have confirmed that the FBI investigation is not only continuing, it may be growing. According to sources, the FBI
You what?
may not only be looking into John Paul Miller, but they may be looking into as many as 5 individuals. The identities of those individuals and the role they play in this story is unknown. And
Sweet baby Jesus.
I wonder if one of them is Tricia Ross, because I wondered whatever. I know she was under FBI investigation, but
Yo, who do you think? If 5 people, 1, Tricia, who's the other 3? Maybe, is it possibly fisherman dude? Is it possibly kayak dude? Is it possibly Dick's pawn shop dude? One of pawn shop dudes? Whoa. That's crazy. We don't know. Everything is speculation. Yeah, is it Pops? Exactly. Eva. Yep. Steph case files too, right there. Pops.
Okay.
I was able to confirm that the multiple alleged victims of John Paul Miller still plan on coming forward, and we can expect lawsuits at any time now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that's completely separate from Mica.
Okay.
Something that he did to somebody else.
I'm going to let you again watch the entire thing. If you want, the video will be linked down below. We talked about alleged
I think that might be the next video that we watch, all. Carrie, thank you. Good to see you.
possibly minors coming forward and discussing or filing reports against JP for SA. What
Oh, that's right.
Robbie is referring to are those reports potentially still coming forward. Now, if they are minors, we may never know the identity of them. We may never know the details, but again, there might still be an investigation done. As far as what Regina Ward said about the cell phone as well, is this JP's cell phone? Please let me know because I'm going to do some more research. But what cell phone are they talking about? Do they have JP's cell phone or do they have Mica Francis's cell phone?
Probably hers.
And she's trying to get her hands on it and they're saying not until we're done with our investigation. Could there be some tampering of evidence? Could there be things that could break the case wide open? I hate that the investigation seems to be moving past Mica at this.
Well, it certainly seems like there will be something if they haven't already turned back over the items.
Point. And I still continue to hope that people look into the
Typically, they don't want things in their custody for longer than they have to be in their custody. You know what I mean? That's like taking your kids to daycare and leaving them there for 6 months, you know, without ever picking them up. They'd be like, "You what? Come get your children's.
Oh, he needs some milk."
Cause of her death, because suicide or not, I believe someone still needs to be held accountable, and they're still persistently pushing for Mica's law to be put into effect. New laws don't come into effect for no reason. I believe, if nothing less, I believe that JP has at least been found guilty in weaponizing religion and God. Allegedly.